Hello and welcome to Out and About Art, your PGTV source for all things art in Polk County. I'm your host, Dion Spires. If you've visited the Neal Cumby Administration Building near the courthouse recently, you've noticed a collection of wildlife photography right here in the lobby. These are all photos taken by local artist Dennis Krupinski out at Circle B Bar Reserve. The exhibit is titled Celebrating Polk's Natural Lands and is presented by the Arts Ensemble Education Foundation to promote water quality in Florida. We met up with Dennis to find out more about the exhibit. Check it out.
I started in photography, used to draw with a pencil and stuff, and once I got a camera and started shooting, never did too much sketching anymore. I love photography. But I've done all kinds of work. I've done sports photography and weddings and stuff, and I decided that this is my passion. This is a show of 20 photographs, all from Circle B Bar Reserve in Polk County. The story of Circle B Bar is that it used to be an old ranch, totally beat down from the cattle and everything. They bought the ranch, they brought the hydrology back up, took out the fences, and the wildlife, build it they will come. The wildlife came in. It's a fabulous place, birding and wildlife in general. So it worked really, really well, and it cleans the water as it floods through the marshes. I was sponsored by Arts Ensemble. Jane Waters Thomas sponsored me to show these pictures throughout the county. The show's been to Tallahassee, and it's celebrating water quality in Florida. Water quality in Florida is so important. You can't live without water. I mean, it's vital to the health of everything. So the wildlife need fresh water. We need fresh water. Like I say, the marshes that they made in Circle B drain into the Lake Hancock down to Peace Creek and all the way down to, on this side of the state, that drains down to Cape Coral. So all that water filters itself through the marshes and everything. Bacteria, algae growth, and things like that are a problem in some places in Florida is really a big deal because those microtoxins are so dangerous to wildlife and people. So with the marshes cleaning the rivers and the streams, it's just like the Everglades. It filters everything. So it's just vital to life to have fresh water. Plus, Florida is known for fishing, the wildlife, the skiing, the beaches, everything's all tied to water in Florida. So it's extremely important. I've been shooting out of Circle B almost since it opened, so I don't know, 8 years or something. And got a lot of great images, so I narrowed it down I started with about 130 images, I think. And I narrowed it down to 30, narrowed it down to 20. And this is just my choice. It's very gratifying to capture some of the things that I've captured. It's just, and being able to share that and bring an awareness of how important the wildlife is. These are things that a lot of people never see. The bobcats, the birds with big fish, the sandhill colts on the back of the parent taking shelter. People don't get to see that kind of stuff if you don't get out and about. So it's about awareness. and I just enjoy sharing it.
The exhibit is still on display in the lobby of the Neil Cumby Administration Building in Bartow and will eventually move over to the Polk County History Center. It's open to the public, so next time that you're near the courthouse, stop on in and admire the natural beauty of our Central Florida area. This month, the Florida Dance Theater will be bringing a classic Halloween tale to life with An Evening with Dracula. The performance is a ballet featuring music from the 1920s, and it tells the story of the famous vampire himself. Here to tell me more about the event are Carol and Stefan from Florida Dance Theater. How are you guys doing today?
Wonderful. Thank you
Great.
for having us.
Thank you for being here to talk about it. I know that this is your third year on Dracula. It's kind of become an annual thing for you guys. So give me some background on what kind of the story of this Dracula performance is. What are you guys portraying in it?
Boy, we loosely based it on the Bram Stoker, his idea of it. And the first year we just kind of with it. And it was good, but we watched it when the story's not clear enough. We have to make it more precise. So last year Stefan reworked a lot of it. And now you can sit down and even if you're not sure about the story, you can kind of get the gist of what's going on, you know.
And every year that we've done it, the company's grown. We've had more and more dancers, and more dancers has allowed for more possibilities with restaging and things like that. So what's exciting about this year is it's not quite the original. We've tweaked a lot of things and added some sections and are really trying to embellish the story and really try to set up the backstory for all the characters and really work a lot on character development in general. So we really want it to be something that even though it's more of a fantasy story, anyone can relate to it in any human level, basically.
Now, I come from a bit of a theater background. I'm not a dancer at all. When you do theater, you have lines, you have words to tell a story, but how does one choreograph a dance to tell a story and kind of portray that without speaking?
You know, a dramatic part, obviously the music is more dramatic, and if the dancer knows the story and what they're supposed to portray, the movement as well as facial. I mean, you know, dance is not just movement. You have to act. You have to do both, and that pretty much we can push them along in that degree. Plus, as artists, they learn how to use their faces and how to portray a thought or an idea or emotion or anything.
Mm-hmm. From a choreography standpoint, both of you, because you're both involved in the choreography, first off, what is the style of dance in this show?
It's very contemporary work. The girls are in point shoes. We very much stress ballet technique here at Florida Dance Theater. We do a lot of classics throughout the season, but we also do a lot of very contemporary work, which is my strong suit and which I do. So I've really tried to blend the classical strengths that the dancers have and the amazing work that they have on their feet and in their shoes. And I've tried to blend that with a bit more of a unconventional, not so classical style, but still try to utilize all the tools and resources that they gained over their training.
So what is the process like when you're trying to come up with this choreography, and what do you call it in the dance world when you lay it on the actors, or you set it on the actors? That's what it is. Trying to create that story with them and have them portray it.
Well, communication is so key as far as from choreographer to dancer, and giving as many pieces of information as far as affectations or little things as far as the hand, like whether is the hand here, is the hand a claw. Those little differences can really allow the dancer to get in the mindset of, for example, a lot of the women that we're playing are Dracula's vampire brides. So getting them to really live in the identity of a creature more so, and really getting to be in that and moving in a more unconventional way, almost like a jungle animal. So really trying to channel more basic instincts than logic in people's movement is really, that's been a great process. And watching these people adapt to new styles so flawlessly and seamlessly has been really enjoyable to work with the group that way.
Sure. And it's important to note too that maybe people aren't familiar with Florida Dance Theater. You guys have professional dancers here. You're a professional company. Right. So the level of talent in these dancers to do those things and adapt.
Yeah, the company is now in its 24th season, and all of our dancers are from all over the country. And what's really nice about this season is most of the dancers have been with me now for 3 or 4 years. And so that kind of, we're family. You know, we spend all day together. We, you know, everybody pushes each other to be better. I mean, it's a great atmosphere here. And we have fun. The work is much too hard to not have fun.
So this event is kind of a two-part thing. There's a section at the Loggia down on Lake Mirror, and there's a section at Branscombe Auditorium, correct? Right.
The performance is at Branscombe, and the Dracula's Masquerade Ball is at the Loggia.
So tell me about the ball. What is happening there? Obviously the performance is the dance.
The ball is really fun. I mean, this is the 3rd year, but this year it's all in one night. So the performance is at 6, and then immediately following the performance go to the Loggia and have a fun party. And this year is really going to be fun because the people will have already seen the dancers performing. And so it's a much more personal thing. They get to meet the dancers and talk to them rather than having the party and then the next night people saw the show. So, you know, that personal relationship with the dancers is what a lot of people, you know, want. They see them on the stage and they're like, wow. But getting to talk to them afterwards is going to be really fun.
The party is always a blast. I mean, it's one of the times that the dancers really do get to let loose with the community. Most of the time that we do get to be around, you know, people, because most of us are so busy. A lot of us don't even live in Lakeland. People live in other parts because we have jobs other places. Most of the time, we're with other people in the community and we get to be with other people, we're on stage performing for them. So we don't get to be immersed within the people of Lakeland as much as we'd like. So the ball is really a great opportunity that we have to just be part of Lakeland and be with the people of Lakeland, which is really what Florida Dance Theater is really trying to do and really be about right now. It's for, you know, outreach and being here for the community and just spread dance education and just the love of dance for as many people as we can.
That's awesome. And are people encouraged to come out in masquerade
yes.
gear, bring your
yes,
mask?
And they usually do. They usually do.
That's fun. I love that.
They'll have masks and photo stations, and we have music and food and drink, and it's fun. It is a lot of fun.
Cool. And I should have asked you this earlier, but I want to ask you a little bit about the origin of this performance. How did the Dracula tradition kind of start at Florida Dance Theater?
I've always wanted to do Dracula, but never was ready to do it, you know. And a good friend of mine set a totally different Dracula on Augusta Ballet, when I was dancing there. And it was so fun. And I love to watch it, and I love to, you know, when I first saw that, which was a long time ago, I said, oh, I want to do that someday. So Stefan and I talked about it, we found music, and we did a lot of research together. And Jermaine, who is Dracula, also helped with us, and just to choose the music, and this sounds great for this section when this is happening. I mean, and it just happened, and it's wonderful. But this is the last year we're going to do it. We're going to put it to bed for a few years. We've done it 3 years in a row, and next season's our 25th anniversary, so we're going to do something completely different for our opener.
Okay, so people better catch it while they can.
They better catch it one night only. One night only.
What night is that? Give me the details.
Saturday, October 21st. Mm-hmm. The show at Branscombe is at 6, and then we start the party at 8 at the Loggia. And you can get your tickets online at floridadancetheater.org. We have sent out invitations, and so some people may have already gotten their invitations.
All right. Well, it sounds fun, just in time for Halloween. So
absolutely.
Perfect.
I'm looking forward to coming out. Thank you guys for talking about it.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, anytime. I'm here now with Jermaine and Sarah, two of the main dancers in the Dracula performance coming up. Thank you guys for being here and talking with me a little bit about your performance. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad.
Good, yep.
Had a long day of rehearsal so far, and there's just more to come, I'm sure. So let's start off just by talking about a little bit of your background with Florida Dance Theater. How long you guys have been here, and maybe how you got involved with these particular roles in Dracula.
Well, I've been here since 2012, so that's about 5 years. You know, learning the role, taking the whole concept, the whole tale of Dracula, trying to embody the role. It's been a real challenge because this is like kind of the first time I've ever played an evil character. Let's say the first time we did Dracula, he was, you know, very hard and evil and just wanted things to be his way. And then the second time we did it, we did, you know, tweaked some things and added a little bit more texture to the character. So you also get to see a softer side of him, even though he's still that mean, ferocious, scary person. So it's interesting.
Sounds like fun though to play kind of the opposite of yourself, I would say. Cool. Sarah, how about you?
This will be my 3rd season here, and happily the 2nd time playing Mina. So similar to Jermaine, something I'm enjoying, especially this year, is sort of delving into the character and seeing like who she is for me and how she develops, as he's saying, with the changing choreography and the new stuff we're adding. It's really exciting.
So what is the choreography process and the learning process like for you guys doing that and kind of becoming these characters like you said? How do you do that as a dancer?
That's a really good question.
Maybe a loaded question.
It's a very loaded, it's like so broad. I have to really, I've done a little bit of research actually. I've looked at other performances of Dracula, Michael Pink's version of Dracula. I've even looked at Dracula, the Untold Story, just a few different versions just to see the different textures that like performers, actors, you know, have embodied the character. And then based off of that, I then try to see how I can convey the message. I took it section by section. During the first portion, you see Dracula coming out in a procession, and he's just very stern, and he seems very proud of what he's done and who he has in his power, in his grasp, in his domain. And then you go to a next section where you see him plotting and scheming and him meeting Mina, who in our version kind of changes his thought, changes his perception, and he becomes more softer. So I try to explore more softer qualities even in a touch. You know, instead of going from being grasping and very violent to the soft, delicate touch that you'd want to touch someone that you care about. You know, you're trying to portray a softer side. You're wanting them to see a softer side of you, as opposed to what what everyone else around has been saying and what they've been seeing. You know, with Mina, he's more vulnerable, more broken in a sense. And so I try to really convey that through just the emotion and just the gentleness of it.
I feel like I have a similar sense in that in the beginning you get to see me as a very like happy, lively Mina. You know, I'm getting engaged, I'm with my friend, we're dancing, we're very fun, we're light. And then when I meet him, I'm sort of like taken aback. So you see this sort of like more fragile, scared version. And then she starts to fall under his spell. So all of these like evolutions of who she becomes throughout the story is really something that we've developed. And I think reads really well through the choreography as well. They've done a great job with the textures, like you were saying, in the fun, playful, fast, through the softness, through the partnering and everything. It's really been an adventure.
And this is kind of a unique performance and event for our area. A lot of the Halloween events that you see in the area are haunted houses and things of that nature, Zombie Fest, those things. You don't really see a lot of Halloween dance. So with it being a unique event, why would you tell people they should come out and see the show? Why should they come experience this with you guys? Or come to the ball? Either one.
Dracula has something, you know, for everyone. Not just the performance, but the ball as well. I mean, for the performance, you know, bringing your children, they'll get to experience so many different layers and textures, like you were saying. You know, you see the ethereal ballerina, you know, dancing on point. You'll see all the physicality, you know, of the guys during the fight scene. So, the average guy can come to a ballet. And it's like, okay, this is girl stuff. But they come to a ballet and they see so much physicality, you know, in the movement. And then moms and dads can, you know, have a babysitter, you know, tuck the kids away at night come on over to the ball and just enjoy the evening. We're gonna have great food, great music. They'll get to meet all the dancers, everyone that's been a part of this to make it a great success. So, yeah.
That's great. Sounds like a great event. I wish you guys best of luck with it. I look forward to seeing it. And thank you guys for talking about it.
Thank
you so
very
much.
Florida Dance Theater will present their Evening with Dracula on October 21st at the Loggia on Lake Mirror and Branscombe Auditorium at Florida Southern College. The evening will begin with their performance in Branscombe Auditorium at 6 p.m. Then head on over to Lake Mirror for a masquerade party event. Visit their website at www.floridadancetheater.org for tickets and more information. Another Lakeland organization, Platform Art, is putting art in public places with their partnership with Art Pop Street Gallery. This partnership was in the form of a contest for Polk County artists to submit their art for the chance to appear on one of 5 billboards in our area. I talked to Platform Art Executive Director Cynthia Haffey and one of the contest winners about it. Check it out.
Platform Art is a cultural arts organization. We're housed in Lakeland, Florida, but we serve the county, Polk County, and we showcase regional artists' work for public art projects. So we commission artists to make public art projects throughout town. This is our second year for Art Pop. Art Pop is art plus public outreach program. And it was started in North Carolina by a woman by the name of Wendy Hickey. She worked for a billboard company in North Carolina and then realized they have a lot of empty billboard space, that just isn't utilized. So she had this really great creative idea to contact artists to see if they would make work, and the billboard company could, for a very reduced rate, put the artwork up on billboards. And of course it's a great success. You've got really, visual graphic work and original work going up on billboards. It's unexpected. So she decided to spread the concept and approach other cities to do the same. Platform Art saw it. We're always searching for new projects to do and looking for creative things that are going on in other places so that we can either bring them home or tailor them for our own community here. So we're now partnering with Art Pop to communicate or commission artists here in Polk County to produce original work to be put on billboards.
I just saw it online. I just saw it on social media and I said, hey, I'm just going to try it. And I never enter into these things. But I just said, I might as well. Let's just see what happens. And I drew something that I didn't even like, really. I started drawing it, and I was on the fence about it for a long time. Even my husband came and looked at it and he was like, oh, that's good. So I entered it in and I was very surprised when I got chosen. This piece that I did is called Future Space Dust. And it tells about, the kind of notion that children are our future. We have to put it into their hands to build the future, but we don't know what that really looks like. So the image depicts children blowing up bubbles that are the world and space and promoting the future.
The Art Pop program specifically is for Polk County artists, so that is the length of our reach. Many of our other programs will go outside the county, typically Orlando, Tampa, St. Pete area. We do projects that are more regional in scope, but always we're bringing it home back to Polk County. This year I think we had 43 entries of artwork, and then we have to narrow it down to 5 because we have 5 billboards that we're using. So it was a very difficult process. We had some amazing work this year, very well-known artists, and then we have a series of judges who go through the work and make the selection. This year it appears that we've picked a lot of very graphic work, and it's really dynamic, and it pops. The 5 artists that we've selected are Victor Prebor, and Victor's an architect in Lakeland, so he does photographic work in a sculptural format. This year his work is photography on wood, so he has photographed the original sculpture piece, and that image is what will appear on the billboard. Marsha Mullins is a sculptor in Lakeland, and she has a piece with antlers that are with a woven fabric and jute around the antlers. Very creative sculptures. Samantha Abdelmoudi Kaban, she does graphic work with pen and ink on paper and also digitally. It's very creative and very bright and colorful. Also, we have Stephen Chait, and Stephen is from Winter Haven. It's a really great billboard piece. It'll be super fun to see this when you're driving down the road and you see this hand reaching out on over a road. It's really great. And also new to the art scene is Heidi Wineland, and she's a recent transplant to Polk County, and she does paintings and predominantly is a folk artist. She actually has a painting of her folk art work that she's produced, her mixed media work.
I think that art in public places is really important. It breaks up your humdrum. You know, I've traveled all over the country. I've seen almost every single state, and I like to walk around my city. And I think that art, especially public art, and especially things that are murals, things like that, it livens up a city. It brings people to a city. It shows community. It shows what the people there have to contribute. You know, you see all these different projects happening all over the United States with public art, and it really represents that community and what those artists are doing.
Platform feels that we have a very valuable role to play in the community. We partner with other cultural organizations in order to showcase what they're doing and bring their work to the forefront, and also the artists who are producing individual work. So it's our goal to continue that process, and hopefully we'll find the support, you know, in the community to continue doing this. This project in particular is a very creative marketing campaign in a way. You know, you have original artwork and it's out in the public and it's there for a whole year. It's a great marketing opportunity, I think, for sponsors to get involved with that. So it's our hope to continue it every year.
I will definitely be participating again. I think even if I don't get it next year, it's a really good community network to be a part of. Platform art is so important. It's such a great thing for this community. It's really doing the most good for the art community, I believe. And so then pairing with Art Pop, it's such a good marriage, and it was such a good opportunity to be a part of it. Like I said, you know, even the people who didn't win billboards, Cynthia gave them the opportunity to place their work at the Art Pop art party. So that's a really cool thing too. You know, any way you can kind of get your name out there, but I will definitely be doing it again next year.
The winning artwork will be on display on 5 Lamar vinyl billboards throughout Polk County. They'll stay on display throughout the next year, but their location is subject to change due to billboard demands. So keep an eye out on your daily travels. You never know when they might pop up. That's all I have in store for this month, but as you know, there's always plenty of art happening throughout Polk County. Stay tuned for a list of events coming up in your area. As always, thank you for joining me once again, and tune in next month for more art out and about.